This was the scene from a celebratory, crazy Orlando just 12 short hours ago. Is Mike ready to go for a Sunday roast? Is Mike going to stop talking about himself in the third person? Is Mike going to turn off the echo on his own computer? We'll find out on tonight's episode of the Sunday Roast. Welcome to the Sunday Roast with Mike and Danny. This is Danny and this is Mike, and we're kind of strange. We're in the tub and we drink a lot. At least one of us does. This is not Mike's body, but that is Danny's, and that's really gross. Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast. We love our fans. And here's Danny's mom.
His name's Michael.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And he's a Jew. You can tell he's a Jew. Look at
Ask him
him.
who's his daddy.
Magical moment. I can almost taste Danny. It's so close I can almost taste him.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. It's the Sunday Roast with your hosts, Magic Mike and Danny the GFP. Welcome to the Sunday Roast, episode 967, Danny, is that right?
Is the Andre Arshavin's number.
23. Also known as Michael Jordan's number, but hey, Andre Arshavin is the best basketballer of all time.
He is. And
Danny, how are you? How are you? You're encapsulated in such wonderful, deep light.
Something like that. I'm absolutely fucked, Mike. Thank you very much for asking. My body's falling apart, and no doubt I'll make Christmas. But apart from that, I'm good. How are you?
That would be sad because I don't want to do this with anyone else.
No, wouldn't be right, would it? No, I've got a few things, but they my balls are back to normal. Got to go and have a look at the got to go see the Willy doctor.
Is that what it says on the door of the office? It just says like Willy doctor.
I think it may well do. Yes. Oh, look, straight away we have someone who is in the inner circle. I saw your. I think we should play. Oh, are we allowed to play it? No, it's a bit too long. But you finally made it to the higher echelons of the YouTube of fame with that lovely man who is what's his name? They did say his name.
Jacob is his name. Jacob is his name-o, and it's one I won't forget because obviously
everybody loves him.
My son is also named Jacob, and everyone loves him too. But yeah, Jacob is a star. You can tell he's gone Hollywood. He's
the Bukayo Saka of the media lovies world, isn't he?
He is. He really is. He's like the adorable, cool kid who's suddenly going to the prom with the with the cheerleading person. You could tell that I was in those inner circles myself.
You ram raided your way in there. You're not there because people like you. It's because you won't give up. Like that's why he did the YouTube thing of can't draw Arsenal. It's because you wouldn't shut up moaning about getting on there.
I don't recall it going exactly that direction, but however it happened,
did you sit on him until he did it?
I've got to now. The guy's now asking me to do another one. No, I'm excited actually because since I recorded the one from Baltimore, we've obviously had quite a week here in Orlando. So I'm excited to put some thoughts together and talk to the great Walrus himself. But no, Jacob is a lovely guy. Met him and his girlfriend, and just absolutely great couple, and had some fun. Got to be a little out of his shell, as it were. So
he wants a copy of the MP3. You're the man to sort that out.
You can have a copy of whatever you want a copy of.
I suppose he didn't ask for it for when he did your one. And how does that work? Give away some of the magic, because I get the feeling he gets you to talk and then adds his other bits on afterwards. Because it's brilliant the way he fade. Did he fade you down or something?
Yeah,
I watched it twice.
I would like want to check with him before revealing the process, except during the podcast that we did live from Orlando on Thursday, he did mention it. So I don't think I'd be violating any kind of trade secrets by saying that. Yeah, it's essentially a 2.5 minute voice note from me, and the beauty of it is he gives no direction on what that should be on. He's just like, just talk for 2.5 minutes. And I didn't want to ask too many questions because I didn't want to, I don't want to be the he's had Andrew on, James.
What you're trying to say? He's had decent podcasters
he's had actual podcasters on, and they probably didn't, ask him 71 questions. So I wasn't going to be the guy who was like, needed special handling. And so yeah, it's about 2.5 minute voice note, and then he just does his magic. He illustrates
what magic
it.
That is.
He injects the walrus parts into the middle of it. He does that the zooming in thing that I love, where I just keep getting closer and closer to the screen. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It really is. I love it. And I honestly, with all the cool stuff that happened to me this week and the people I got to talk to and the access that I got through media credentials and the fun times that I had, that is the achievement of the week for me is being on that. And so
have you now officially made it?
No, because I woke up in a bed. I woke up alone in bed this morning, and I don't think you could say you've made it until tomorrow, where I'll be back reunited with my wife. So.
Oh, well saved for being away and spunking all of her money for 2 weeks. Well saved at the dying seconds.
I just kind of hit a fadeaway jumper at the buzzer right there. So it's been a crazy week and a half of Arsenal, and now I am in the dying embers of the Orlando trip. My son is here; he is joining me. We're going to SeaWorld tomorrow, but
there's young Jacob.
Jacob, is this your debut Sunday roast appearance, or have you?
No, there was one in Europe. We were in.
That's right. That's right. We did one from Paris, and we did one from whatever that town that we went to on the beach. What the hell was that called?
In Europe?
Yeah, where Levante was. God,
I don't know.
We don't even know this. It's a major city in Spain. What the hell?
Jake, are you ever worried that you look at your old man and think, God, what if I end up like that? Does it worry you? Does it make you do sit-ups every day and watch what you eat and never drink?
Well, he's on track for that so far, but
there again, I don't drink, and look at the state of me. I've not been drunk since 1994. So not drinking isn't going to help.
I haven't been drunk since 10 hours ago. Yeah, it was Valencia. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of Valencia, but
at what point, Jake, would you start to worry when your head is perfectly cylindrical? That's not right, is it? A cylindrical round, or is that a long round thing?
A cylinder. Yeah, cylinder is something that
oval
my head is a trapezoid.
Yeah, when your head turns into a perfect sphere, are you going to start worrying? Because I mean, you are lucky because your mum's a very good-looking young lady and your dad's a mess. So I mean, it's 50-50 which way you're going to go.
It's the battle of the genes. We will see. Right now, mom's winning, and I couldn't be happier. But
look at my Sean. She's turned out all right. Most of the people here would pay good money to take her out for a fish supper. So sometimes you can fight it.
She's very lovely, and I've always struggled to understand where she came from. But then I met George, and I get it. So
look in there's Maverick Kaiser, someone who I've known from the Arsenal forum days from about, good God, 15 years ago.
And the aforementioned Chris Lodato, who we spoke about before the show went live, is here.
Yes, did he did a show the other day? Okay, we've had a timeout already. That's it's only taken Callum 9 minutes to get a timeout.
Oh, Jesus, already? Come on,
9 minutes, absolute disgrace. So how many of the games did Jake go and see with you? Did you say to him, no, boy, all the money's going on me and burgers. You sit in the car and listen on the radio, or did he come in with you?
We were. He went to Baltimore, right?
Yeah, we were in Baltimore. I had a football tournament that I played in yesterday, so I wasn't at the Chelsea game.
How did you get on?
We won the first game.
Yeah, it was
hard. It was tough competition, though.
This was like the regional version of a local tournament that he did a couple weeks ago, which I think we even talked about on the roast. I was showing clips of it. Maybe that was on our pod, but the regional version was not as easy as you weren't playing. You were playing young men, not old men.
Yeah.
Was there any knee slides? That's all I need to know. Did you celebrate like Henri?
In the first tournament, I did.
I think that's what
we saw it.
Yeah. I think I might have hurt my knees pretty badly if I did this in the second one because the field surface and it was very hot out there last night. So.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are on the other side of your 40-degree days, right? I mean, has it gotten a little bit cooler?
At the moment outside it is 23 degrees. It's 28.7 in my sitting room because I've not had the doors or windows open for 3 days because flies keep coming in and ganging up on me and trying to get up my nostrils when I'm asleep. So the weather's here. It's not been. Today was about 30 odd. We had a couple of days where it's cold, a bit chilly, but I still can't go out, so I don't care what happens outside. And fuck knows nobody comes round anymore because they've all got better things to do with their time. And my child's abandoned me. Don't ever abandon your dad, Jake. Don't ever go away. Oh, he's going away, isn't he?
He's like literally going away in 3 weeks. He's abandoning me in 3 weeks.
Just remember, without your dad, you'd be nothing. You'd be a little bit of dribble on the floor.
We don't need to talk about that. I haven't had the talk with him yet, so he doesn't know how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
I don't know any of that stuff.
No, excellent. Probably best we move on. What other wonderful? Oh, here, look, Chris is getting involved. He was at the game last night. He shared a little video with us in the one of our WhatsApp groups, saying showing the lines of people to get in, and then saying the line to even get in the car park was just as long. 63,000 fans though. I was moaning recently that Melvin, how you doing? Oh, and there's Pete. Is Pete the PA Gooner? I'm never sure. So
it was packed. It was. I mean, of the 3 games on this tournament, I was just commenting on a pod I did earlier that like there were very, very different games. The first one was like it was kind of a game of mild interest in a massive stadium, so it looked really poor, like 40,000 people in an 85,000 person stadium. The second game was really more of like an MLS showcase. Arsenal were kind of the attraction there rather than this being a functional game for them. And I think it showed in the way that we played against Orlando City. They gave us a game. We gave them a game. It was not super, super hype. But last night was the closest thing to, a legit football match. I mean, the fans were out there in full force. The place was packed. They had the fan zone, the outdoor area where all the both teams were doing special things for people. Gunnersaurus was there, and I cannot imagine being in that outfit on 100-degree day like it was yesterday. I mean, it was brutally hot yesterday, and just, I mean, it was ridiculous. And he's in that outfit. There's got to be like an air conditioning system installed in there, or he's got some sort of magical skin, because that would have been hot. But yeah, it was crazy yesterday. Really, really good time though. And yeah, Matthew, I've seen those pictures. I have to connect with the world, and the phone is the portal for how to do that. And
you've got your people. They need a little bit of mic in their lives, don't they?
What I was doing was preparing to take video of the celebration, and had it had that picture been maybe 5 seconds later, I would have been holding up my phone instead of actually looking down at it. But when you score goals in bunches like Arsenal do whenever we play Chelsea now, each individual goal gets less and less exciting because it's like a commonplace event. So
Yeah, that's good. I tried to I went, oh, there he is, and I pressed the button too late to be able to show a picture. But someone else on Twitter actually managed to find you, which was nice. Is that where you're looking at your phone?
I was probably looking at my phone the entire time. I wasn't even sure that there was a game that I was at. But yeah,
at least you're facing the right way.
Yes, I am facing the right way. I've seen this picture. I've seen video clips that Mike McDonald has sent me of his whole family going, well, look, there's Mike. Actually, it's him saying, oh, look, there's Mike, and his family being like, why do you care so much? Yeah, it was a good time. Obviously, the TV just finds me, and it adds multiple 30 pounds onto me.
And I've met you. You're no way that fat.
No, I'm not. I am not this. This is just the camera. I have like
nice if you sometimes return compliments. 4
different cameras. Oh, I mean, if you just turn your head upside down, you would be lovely.
That's not actually going to happen, is it? It's not the 14th century France. It's not going to happen.
If you had let me hug you for longer, I would have had nicer things to say. But I was going to.
It was freezing cold. Yes. So what? There's one. Oh, I turned it off about 85 minutes. So I missed Lokonga's goal, but then I saw it. I saw a replay of it. Someone on Twitter had a highlight. So did we get the trophy at the end of it? Because I didn't. Because that tournament was a mess. Because I think Chelsea played a Mexican side and beat them 2-1, and then Chelsea played Charlotte and then lost on penalties. But then Charlotte and the Mexican side didn't get to play any more games. So what the fuck was that about? How do they work out a winner?
I don't know. They're just exhibition games that are like cobbled together and they call it a cup. Most certainly we won the cup. I mean, we didn't lose any of the games that we played in. So I actually left in about the 82nd minute, because it occurred to me, given where this stadium is and where I wanted to be after that it was going to be almost impossible to get from point A to point B other than walking, which I didn't really want to do, as I never usually want to do. So I actually left a little bit early and heard, as I was leaving the stadium, heard the cheers for the Lokonga goal. So I wasn't there to see the trophy presentation. I wanted to get back to the bar as quickly as I could and just establish a
stop beating around the bush. You wanted to get your place at the bar, sit down and start shoveling pretzels and beer down your gullet.
That's pretty much what I was looking to do, and with as little physical energy involved as possible, and I accomplished that goal only just. So yeah,
I saw you.
Yes.
How weird.
So tell the roasties. Oh, that was pathetic. Oh, have I broken?
Oh no! Abort the show. You haven't sat on it, have you?
I think the bell is.
The bell is banjaxed, as my mother would say.
Any other podcast, I wouldn't actually take the time to try to diagnose this, but this is the bell, and this is the Sunday roast.
That is more important to the show than we are.
I know. What has happened? Oh. What is this?
This is the bloke. His name is Sam. It's called Something Wong, as Sam as in some. And he is the bouncer outside of the Stagger Inn. This is live on Twitch at the moment. I've been watching him for about 2.5 years. I've asked Chris, are you there? Chris, put your head up if you're there. I asked Chris if he went there, and he went, it's full of fake, fake cowboys or something. I can't remember the wording he used. So he normally on a Sunday he does a barbecue, and he goes home their time at about 8-9 o'clock. But on a Friday night and a Saturday night, he starts at about about midnight UK time and goes through to about 7 a.m. UK time. And then he just said, no, you're not allowed in. Show us your ID, all that lot, and tells people to fuck off. And when there's trouble, and just watching him. And then I was watching this normally the camera is pointed much more round to the left. And I put this on last night. Normally in my bedroom, 58-inch 4K TV, I usually get, fuck off. That's your last fucking warning. And normally my internet Wi-Fi in there is about 50 or 60 meg, one or the other. I should know, but I don't. It's down to meg. it was down to 1 or 2. So I thought, hold on, I can see that might sound waddling. You were crossed on the left-hand side of the street and you had a bloke to your left. I didn't even know that you had a Saka 7 shirt. And then I thought, so I watched
because I swore I would never get another player on the back, and then after the Euros last summer, I just couldn't help myself. So
yeah,
but yeah.
So this is it. His name is Something Wong, all one word, _STW, which is Something Wong. He actually does trading cards and things like that, and pack openings of Pokemon and basketball and NFL and ice hockey and all that other shit that I don't care about. And then, saw you waddling past, sent you a WhatsApp, and you went, yeah, I was. But then my internet was shit all night. Now it's back to normal.
It was just the strangest. It was the strangest thing, mostly because I looked back this morning and I didn't find it stranger at the time. He's like, Danny's in in the middle of England.
I stalked you
and asking me like, were you just at this local Orlando bar that I had literally just gotten left from? And I'm like, yeah. I don't know why I didn't question it more. Like, yeah, how did you know?
Oh, Chris says the staggering is cool.
It is. I enjoyed it. It was like across the street from where the main there were a couple of main bars yesterday that were hosting most of the Arsenal people, and it was ridiculously packed. I mean, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The game was at 8. I tweeted out some videos of the whole North London Forever scene, and save these questions because I want to respond to
I've got one saved from Callum, the decent one question he asked, but as usual he's been a twat, so I've saved it. You can see it.
Yes, but then there would be like the overflow. I mean, it's just bar after bar after bar. It's a great area of downtown Orlando, and with each successive bar you went to, there was a little less crowded, a little more able to talk to people. Definitely, yeah, I remember this, Clayton. Definitely more ability to not have to wait as long to take a piss. So yeah, I did come over to urinate. He makes it seem like I urinated in the bar, Chris, with that comment. I didn't urinate I went to the bar to use the toilet. I did not urinate in the bar itself. So
he's got a thing about not letting people come in. He's a grumpy bastard. He's from San Francisco. He's a 49ers fan, and he hates everybody. And people will go past and go, what's this? He's on videoing it. Oh, what's it on? Huh? Go away. And he thinks that he can intimidate people because he's 6 foot tall, and he doesn't give a fuck about football. I just like watching all the drunk people, all the drunk women falling over themselves. And there's a curb there, and they keep falling over the curb, tripping over it. But yeah, I just like people watching. That's what I do when I go out on my own. Back in the days when I could go out on my own before my undercarriage exploded, I'll just go to my local park and I'll just sit there, like we did on that day we head swapped. Just sat there for half an hour going, "Fuck, it's cold."
You just said that day that we head swapped, like we did that on the day. It wasn't done later.
Wasn't it? You mean you did that in post ed? That sounded like a technical term.
I just love that rolled off your tongue though as part of the story. Remember where we where we sat that day and we head swapped?
You know, we were beheaded. Don One says, what's he cooking? He is cooking burgers, which he loves it when people walk by and go, "How much for a burger?" And he goes, "Patrons only." Well, how do I do that? You become a patron. He is such a miserable prick, and it's hilarious. So if you drink there, you can have a free burger. And then he has this thing where he goes, all the types of cheese. How is American cheese a type of cheese? You sneaky fuckers. You lot haven't invented a type of cheese. What's American cheese? That plastic shit.
I don't like American cheese, but it's not bad, but it's not as good as cheddar.
Is that stuff that comes in like a plastic wrapper and you have to unwrap it each slice?
Yes. American cheese is almost always in the wrap, like it comes over the top. So you open one half of it, and then you have to go around and open the other half of it. Yeah. And I can't tell you the last time I've intentionally had a piece of American cheese if there were any other cheeses on offer. And see, this is getting back to the roots of the Sunday roast right here, because the next thing to talk about obviously would be what are your top 5 cheeses. Yes, Melvin, I was at the game with a red, white, and blue cap. I have been sent screenshots and videos from all corners of the earth. Yes,
the king.
That was me amongst my peoples.
And none
We
of them are
lo-
talking to you. Will you sit next to anybody you know, or do you
I
just
love my fans. I wasn't
singular?
sitting anywhere. See, the benefit last night to me having media credentials, though I did not use them in a traditional sense to be in the press box, I didn't subject anybody to me post game in the press conference or any of that. I knew going in yesterday that I was just gonna wear the fan hat and not the media hat. But the credentials still get you into the building. But I didn't actually have a ticket or a seat, so I was doing fan content. I was doing interviews and talking to people about their experience in the game, and one of these days I'll upload them to the internet so that people can see them.
For Christmas, do you celebrate Christmas like we do?
No.
Oh, okay.
you?
Birthdays? You do celebrate birthdays. For your birthday, when is your... I don't even know when your fucking birthday is.
March 12th.
Oh, I've got a long time to save up. Can I buy you a decent walking about outside, mate, Mike? Because that... You managed to speak to so many really top quality people, Mikel Arteta and Ray Parlour and Gilberto, and you put that away. Next time you come over, Mike, could you bring that with you? And I'm going to hide it somewhere.
And we love our fans.
We want that. I want to see that sacrificed, and you buy one with a spit card, because when you've had a few shandies, my boy, that's probably give that a shake. It would be like I would
have the same level of success if I just poured this bottle of water directly onto the microphone. Look, it's what I had. It plugs directly into my phone, so it takes you from. I mean, and I know that other microphones are capable of this as well. But it took all the background noise and the loud and the screaming, and it allows me to actually record conversation with somebody next to me. Problem is, I actually hold it too close to my mouth. Like I was thinking it would reduce it overmodulates. And there's a video, the last video I took last night, which was I think of me and my friend Cam, who was one of the organizers of this event and all the bar meetups. It's so overmodulated because I'm in a loud environment, but the microphone doesn't pick up a lot of the background noise, so it's just me going. And
it's only short bits, so it's not like you've done the entire podcast. Oh, actually, yes, you have. You've been doing it for 3 years. No, it doesn't matter, but it's good, and you got some really good interviews. And I like the one you asked Mikel about Maria. That was very good. And it's good that he instantly knew who she was.
I was praying that he would instantly know who she was, because I certainly didn't want to set him up to look bad. But you can tell from his answer that was not a stock answer. That wasn't something that he just kind of came up with to make it look like he knew who she was. He's known about her since he was a player here, and my connection to Maria is nowhere near as great as it is with so many other people. I mean, I know people who are involved in the supporters club, people like Fergus and Sophie was very, very close with her.
I know Sophie was.
Yeah, I mean, Sophie and Jack Stevenson, very, very close to her. And so the loss I'm feeling is more just a regretful loss of a connection, of just one more link with the things that make us so special. We don't want those things going away and not being carried on. And we've seen too much of that at Arsenal. But I just, I knew I was going to ask him that question, and I knew everyone else was going to be asking questions kind of about transfers and all that. And my role on the media isn't to try to be the reporter for the Sun or the Mail. It's to ask kind of, questions about fandom and about the fan base and the connection. And I kind of realized in that moment that I was put there to ask that question. And I'm so glad that he was able to answer it the way that he did.
Couple of quick things. Loki, I found your number. I've now changed it to Loki. I can't remember. I think I might have had your actual name and I couldn't remember your surname. So I deleted it and just saved it as Loki, and I've given it to Gav. Deke, mate of mine, on the pod many times, a huge men's health advocate, says I like the tag. That's where I got it from, Deke, my old fruit bag. I don't know what a fruit bag is, but I've called you one. That's it's a nice thing. yeah, I saw that, and I thought we do talk about men's health, not mental health, because luckily we're both. Well, you wouldn't believe it, but both of us are fine. Well, I take it you're fine. We've never mentioned it, but I'm fine. You're fine. We're lucky. We're just fat.
I mean,
so that's why it's
one
men's health.
day I won't be fine, but
yeah, you never know. That's why at the moment it's men's health and not men's mental health, because it's our health we worry about. Where was another question?
Here, by the way, here's the. I don't know how well this will work because it's coming from my phone, but.
We're back in the club. TGP on tour. Arsenal 4, Chelsea 0. Kim, I mean, I know we don't go overboard, but can we go overboard?
I think that based on the preseason we've had and the performance that we had today, I mean, I think we should. I think we should start, getting a little bit carried away, getting a little bit hype. I think there's something to say about this. I think we called it in.
Can we get a little bit hype?
Can we get what?
4-0 in the preseason against Orlando. 4-0 in the preseason against, Charlotte FC. You take that with a grain of salt. Chelsea put one of their really good lineups out there tonight.
I can't. I feel sick. I can't even watch this anymore.
Do you remember doing that?
No. That was. I mean, I kind of, but could you? All right. Here's what's miserable about me in that. Number one,
everyone loves it. Don't you?
Number one, I'm spittling all over everything. Number two, I'm talking 9 times louder than I need to be. Now, you could hear the music in the background. I mean, it wasn't like I don't wake up in the morning, turn to my beautiful wife, and talk like that. but yeah, I'm slurring. I'm making weird facial expressions. We're dancing on the. I mean, that is both the worst and best interview I think I've ever done.
Good question here from Matt D'Souza. Why is it so much easier to get media credentials in the US? Obviously, they're not picky because you keep getting them with your rock band microphone. And why wouldn't Arsenal be this accommodating back in the UK?
They don't. On the credential application is a question that says, "Which video game does your microphone come from?" Which child's video game do your recording equipment come from? I would say that it is. I mean, for us, I have not applied for media credentialing in the UK.
Good luck.
I don't think that there would be a point in doing that because the media credentialing on the US tours is kind of a corroboration between.
Try saying that last night.
Between the promoter of the event, like in this case, the Florida Cup was the credentialing entity, and of course they check with the team to make sure that they're not credentialing anyone who the team doesn't want them to credential. But yeah, for the U.S. tours, we're pretty much now in a mode where we've done them all, and so the next time they come, I would hope and expect to be able to get credentialed for it. It's it's a cool thing, but what we saw a lot of, and I don't know if this has anything to do with us because there are a lot of people now applying for credentials purely for the fun and experience of it, to be a fan with access.
Is that an American thing though? If you applied for credentials to go and see the Miami Dolphins when you were down there, if they were playing, would you get as far?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. They would. I mean, you kind of have to get yourself.
If this was called a Dan Marino Wonderland, would we be able to get them?
You never know. Certainly, if you were covering them when they came over to play at Wembley, type of thing, then you might have a chance. But I don't know. I mean, the idea originally from 2019, that it was Andy's idea, and I thought it was ridiculous to expect that we would get credentialed. But I can write a convincing application letter. And we did. And once you're in the door, the club now knows who we are. The club knows that I'm not just there to goof off and to kind of mock the industry. And I as silly as I am, and look, I mean, if I had done an interview with Eddie Nketiah, like the one you just saw, I would never be allowed anywhere near Arsenal again. So, when I am acting as media, which I was not last night, but I did for the Orlando game and I did for the Everton game, I'm in a completely different state of mind, clothing, lack of alcohol, and I come prepared with serious questions that are kind of what the people who happen to tune into my content want to hear. So, the interesting thing, Sai, is asking if you start doing fan media credentials in England, you'll have idiots exploiting it. That is true, but I think you'll start to see certain fan media more and more involved with it. I mean, you could consider Arsblog fan media, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And
you can't turn anywhere without seeing the judge on anything there, can you?
Yeah, well, and
he's getting a big hug off of Edu.
Getting it off of him. That reminds me, like in high school, people were like you go out on a date with somebody, and then all your friends would be like, "Did you get anything? Did you get a hug off of her?" Yeah, I mean it's a blurred line, but the club is being forced to start to kind of recognize that, just traditional print and website media like The Athletic and stuff, those are important, valuable sources, but in many cases the world is changing, and more and more outlets like ours are legitimately covering an aspect of this club and I'm actually trying to do something for the club in forcing them to connect with fans on a different level. It's a little small effort from our small channel, from my small imprint, but just starting to getting a question in about Maria, getting a question in about or a talking point about some other fan or supporter related thing is important. And it's amazing. They're just not used to having that kind of communication with people. So, and along those lines, AFTV did receive media credentials for this tour. Not only that, but Robbie and Cecil sat in on the press conference after the Orlando game, and Arsenal's media director, the media director actually specifically called on them to ask a question. So if the club were actively wanting to exclude them from anything, it didn't show on Wednesday night.
Good, and I think it's good having other places having the kind of access that you do, because then the audience that you would have isn't necessarily not. I've got Arsenal blocked on Twitter because of all the media. What's it called? I can't think of the word. All the propaganda they put out. Some of it's okay. The rest of it's just bullshit. So much stuff I don't give a fuck about, and the stuff I do kind of like is the stuff that we do. And there'll be loads of people here that might not want anything to do with the standard press, because it's all transfer nonsense and all made up shit to try and get clicks. Whereas nothing we do, quite obviously, is to get people to watch us, is it?
No, that was the case. We are failing miserably. I think that they're accustomed to wanting to get their message out to the most people. And I think what they need to be thinking about is trying to get their message out to the right people. And they're hopefully bit by bit learning a little bit more that that's the case. I mean, how they do it, they got to be careful because it is a slippery slope. If you start making the insides of the club accessible to people who are looking for gotcha interviews and gotcha sound bites and to bulk up their negative rat listeners, then you open up a Pandora's box that you can't close back up again. So they do have to be careful.
From Loki says, Mike, will Arsenal play in Philadelphia next year? The best city in the US. I'll go for sure.
I'm almost positive the team's going to Australia next summer. Whether they come to play one game in the US after playing in Australia, I don't know. That would seem like a pretty busy summer. But we have not heard anything about a trip to the US. I mean, I've read an article or saw a tweet about a potential friendly at DC United Stadium, which for me would be fantastic because I live there, but I can't imagine that happening. I don't see that happening.
Mr. Bob Alexa says, Danny, what was your dinner today? I had a naked cereal bar when I got up, the apple one, no sugar, and I had that with my tablets because I got up at about 12 for a wee, and I forgot to take my what's that? The folic acid I've got to take after my injection. I didn't, so I felt really nauseous. So I went back to sleep until about 5:30, and then I had my then I got up and I had I came in here and I had some Doritos, the orange flavored Doritos, about a third of a bag. That's all that was left from last night. Then I opened a bag of Mummy these, which are co-op onion rings. Absolutely fucking disgusting. They're going in the bin. I've got some popcorn there, but I have got these. I've become addicted. I'm now an actual addict to Tunnock's tea cakes that have sat in my drawer for over 24 hours and I haven't eaten them. I'm saving them for tomorrow when my mum comes round.
You are an addict. I mean, have you been to a meeting yet for those cupcakes?
I only go for the biscuits. I have willpower. So I would tonight. I'm probably going. I felt really shit when I got up. In my bedroom is carpet. Oh, you don't know that, but you probably had a little sneaky look when you're taking pictures of my house.
I've just put Michael in timeout here. We get the special fans here.
Yes. So I've got this tiny little bar because I've got laminate in the whole house and I've got carpet in my bedroom. And it's about this big, which is about 1.5 centimeters. It took me 5 attempts to get over it. I have to go over one wheel at a time. I was that until my injection starts working, and then I get. Plus, I've been doing exercises with my arm to try and free up my shoulder, which is apparently you do these kind of things, and it makes you achy. So the gist of it is, I've been too fucking tired to go and make dinner, but I will be going and making dinner tonight, and I will have. I don't know. I've got these chicken things that are quite nice, but what I won't be doing is ordering takeout, and I'm going to get those crisps and put them in the bin because they're disgusting.
I'm going to go out and get a proper dinner tonight. Jake and I are having dinner with a lovely and now very famous young man, the one and only Aston Mack.
Hey,
Aston. This has been. I mean, this time last week, Aston and I were hanging out in Baltimore, and we knew he was getting ready to blow up, and then it all hit on Monday with that video. It was pretty cool. He is delightful guy.
He's doing well.
He's doing well. He's got a platform.
And who discovered him?
He says me.
Tom?
He says me. No, not Tom.
Bloody Canton.
Tom doesn't care about those issues.
No one watches his stuff ever. I mean, he may say 10 million views his YouTuber's got, but inflated number. No one watches Tom Canton for his top quality stuff all day, every bloody day, getting up at the crack of dawn and giving people content that they love. No one watches that.
No,
They'll come and watch this.
Why would you watch that? You got to. I mean, he's only talked about colonoscopies on 4% of his shows. What kind of a ratio is that?
I mean, 1,000 people that are watching his show every single time he does it, probably all bots. Probably
all bots with really good questions and and very good content on the Discord as well.
Yes, indeed. ABW's got a Discord.
TGP will never have a Discord because then that's something else I have to fucking be.
I don't even look at it. I think Mr. Boblix is in there.
At some point, it's too much. Like I can't. This head is large, but there's only so many different things that can go on.
Mostly full of jam.
I wish it was, but so yeah, Aston. Men in Blazers technically discovered him, but then we became. But they're not friends. They're not mates with him. Aston's a great guy, man. We've been palling around all week together, and just watching him get the props and the fame and everything that comes with it, good and bad, is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And he's on a first name basis now. Like I think Josh Kroenke's in his contacts right now in his phone. I mean, they have invited him into the inner sanctum.
Let's answer a few questions. Rocky just reminded me that he asked this one earlier. How concerned are you about Kieran Tyranny and Tomiyasu? What's Tomiyasu's first name?
Tommy, and his last name is Ashu.
Ah, thank you.
Takehiro.
Say bless you.
Takehiro.
Ah, what are you worried? I mean, Tomiyasu went away with the Japan national side, and I think he played some games, and then he come back, and then I think Kieran Tyranny had half a game against the German side, and
I'm quite concerned. I'm obviously it makes you less concerned when you bring in Zinchenko for cover or making Tierney maybe his cover. But the Tomiyasu thing is, I don't get it. Like, what is happening to these players when they come in and play for us? I mean, it's always seemingly been the case. They're just injuries that no one else gets. I don't know other top 6 teams where they're just without their best player at a position for weeks and months at a time, except for us. But my hope is that all these guys that are not really fit to train or be part of the tour right now, and I'll add Fabio Vieira to that. I'm just hoping that they're able to start the season, because if we're starting Cedric against Palace on Friday night the 5th, I'm not going to be comfortable with that. I'd be more comfortable with Ben White playing there, to be honest with you. And I know that you want me to be honest with you, so.
Okay, good. That's the question. Let's go, Mr. Band a lot. Lads, favourite movie and favourite actor or actress? Now, oddly, one of my favourite ones is Rocky IV. It's in my top 3 films.
I must break you.
Predator, Days of Thunder, the Greatest Showman.
How do you spell Predator?
Predator. They make cakes as well. They make cakes and sandwiches in the middle of the Himalayan jungle. I don't even know if the Himalayas has a jungle. I doubt it does at that height.
No, the Himalayas don't have a jungle. It's a jungle at 28,000 feet.
Somewhere in Southeast Asia. Did you know that water boils at 1 degree less every kilometre that you go up?
I did know that. I didn't know that it was exactly that, but I did know that that's why cooking ingredients, they're often, I don't know if you still do this, but you used to see different cooking cooking instructions if you were at altitude, like if you lived in Denver or you're in the Alps or the Himalayas, as it were. If you were a Sherpa on Mount Everest, you have to use different cooking instructions.
That's how I knew about it. And did you know 1 litre of water weighs 1 kilo?
I hadn't forgotten that, but yeah.
Maybe slightly different for you lot, because your lot, 1 foot is smaller than a UK foot, isn't it? Because when they went and invented America, the instrument that they measured shrunk. And also that's why your gallon is smaller than ours, because some of it evaporated on the way over there. They had a gallon of liquid and said this is the standard for a gallon of liquid. And that's why your gallon is smaller than ours.
Well, our pints are definitely smaller than yours.
What?
Our pints are definitely smaller than yours.
Well, they're probably based off of a gallon, aren't they?
Like a pint of beer is 16 ounces over here, and it's 20 over there, which is why I spend so much time.
Measure liquid in weights. How dare you? Ounces. You stop that right now.
Ounces are both.
No, they're definitely not. Super. It says he's gonna go spin some records. Thanks, boys.
Before you leave, then I starred his question before about St. Louis. I wanted to get back to it.
Okay.
So if you're still here, you had asked, have you ever met any of the Gateway Gooners from St. Louis? Their home base is my local pub in Webster Groves. One of my best friends is the head of the Gateway Gooners, Rick Hicks, formerly involved in podcast. He was actually on the Sunday Roast last week from my hotel room in Baltimore. Very good friend of mine. Used to do production backstage and stuff for the Gooner Ramble and Highbury and Heels podcast. But yeah, it's one of those supporters clubs that I really want to go to, and it's kind of crazy that I haven't had the opportunity yet, because my daughter's been in school in Columbia, Missouri for 3 years now, and every time I've gone out to visit her, I fly through St. Louis, but it hasn't timed up with when a game is. So I'm hoping to get that accomplished this year. And if you're there, I would love to see you there. I don't have like a favorite movie. There's just so many movies. I couldn't think of
there is a few.
There's a handful, and I can't like. There's no. I mean, I guess if I had to say like what do I think is the best movie I've ever seen, I will probably say like Shawshank Redemption.
Very, very good.
Like I think that, I mean, that, that's a lot of people's answers for that, but like I mean it's just a really, really good movie. But then again, I've seen other movies where I'm like, well, there are some movies you can watch over and over again. Revenge of the Nerds is for non-Arsenal, because Fever Pitch and in '89 the film are two of my favorite movies to watch, because I feel like I lived those days. But yeah, Shawshank Redemption probably the best one. And what was I about to say? Revenge of the Nerds is
never seen it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Mr. Boblik says 1 meter cubed of 1 meter cube water is 1 ton. Well, there you go. Nick wants to ban someone. What are you doing? You had a stroke. Can you smell toast? You're seeing what 1 meter cubed would look like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like. I mean, water is heavy. I can assure you of that. But that's pretty. That doesn't seem like a lot of water to weigh 1 ton, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll set this.
Depends if you're sat in it or not. Loki says Raiders of the Lost Ark, and his favourite actor is Bruce Willis. I think my favourite actor would be I like Tom Hardy.
I like Tom Hardy in Peaky
like Tom
Blinders.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks, he's definitely one of the most accomplished and best actors, but I wouldn't say he's my favorite.
I like Keanu Reeves, Nuno. He's very good. Some of his films. Denzel's very good. Connery and Clint Eastwood are good. Hugh Jackman is very good. Michael Caine. Kevin Spacey. I just watched K-Pax. Very good film.
You can't compliment Kevin Spacey anymore, though.
I can and I will. Unproven that he's been nonceing up young men. Unproven. Dirty boy. Sometimes no really does mean no.
I don't know. So the Tom Hardy thing, I only know Tom Hardy, and I know I'm missing out on an entire body of work, but I only know Tom Hardy from his character on Peaky Blinders, and I love that character so much for obvious reasons. And
does he remind you of a younger you?
No, he reminds me of a completely out of control me, which I probably sounded more like, what's the character's name again? I can't even remember now.
I don't know. Melvin says I can't stop watching Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, what a level
that's a dad joke.
It is. Peaky, I'm going to go out and find his name now, because I have an entire list. I have a folder on my bookmarks of all my favourite TV shows. Eli, is it? No, Eli Gold. That's out of The Good Wife. Wrong one. Character, person. Where are you, scumbag? Tom Hardy.
Alfie Solomon.
I don't know why I fucking bother. Absolute scumbags. Arnie wants you to say it again. I don't know what he wants you to say. The Devil's Project, says Maloki, never heard of it. Oh, Chris loves Tom Hardy as well.
Chris, how come we didn't see your lovely fiance this weekend? I was worried that maybe the engagement hadn't stuck. But anyway, I got to see plenty of you, which was nice.
Ian McShane, wonderful human being. Mr. Boblik puts Lawrence Fishburne or Samuel L. Jackson. There's the extras joke about that, isn't there, with Ricky Gervais? But I won't go there because people might not have seen it and won't get it. I got a 7-day ban from Twitch. What the fuck did you do? Jesus. Bill Murray, brilliant. Love Bill Murray. Loki, Bruce Willis and Die Hard and Pulp Fiction, great films. Right, what other questions?
Pulp Fiction is highly, highly underrated. It's not underrated because people love it, but very, very good movie. Very
Callum
good.
asks, "What's your favourite drink?" I love milk, but I can't drink milk because it can make me ill. When I have my medication, I only take one injection and 3 tablets. That's it. I'm not like 1,000 of them, but between them, I can't eat dairy or wheat. It gives me a shitty body.
I'm the same way with beer. I love
Bullshit.
it, but it makes me sick.
How does it make you dizzy?
It makes me go Arsenal 4, Chelsea nil.
I think I do like coffee as long as it's not instant coffee. If you want to watch a good Tom Hart,
I never drink coffee. Never.
No,
ever. Once I had it, I tried to get into it because I worked at a restaurant, and everyone at restaurants smokes and drinks coffee like before they start working. And I wasn't doing the smoking thing, but the coffee I tried to get into, and I ended up adding so much cream and sugar to it that I had to put it in a larger cup, and it wasn't coffee anymore. It was essentially like mocha flavored milk at that point. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to force it. But
someone says Locke for him. It's like a drama written on. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, decent film. Goes on a bit. But yeah, I quite like that. Want to watch Warrior? That's a really good film.
Is Alfie's voice? Is that
Quite.
Tom Hardy's voice, or is that
Kind
the
of.
character?
He's a geezer.
So he doesn't sound like that in other roles.
He has a good ability to change his accent. The one he did, the Craze one, that was another good one. Most of the films that he does. Oh, one of the best.
If he doesn't sound like Alfie Solomon's in the other movies, then I have no interest in following him to any other movies. Because I want to see. So I don't want to see Tom Hardy in other things. I want to see Alfie Solomon's in other things.
But he does one. Charles Bronson, the person who spent the most amount of time in prison. That film that he did of that was really good. And Colin next door, who's now in a jar on the top of that unit behind me, he served Charles Bronson for tea in prison once, because Colin was no stranger to being in prison, beating people up. Oh yeah, Chris said it makes it a bit deeper, but he's got a very good range of accents, and they're all believable. Warriors come out to play.
Warriors come out to play.
The one he's one playing Bane was bullshit. You could have got anyone to play that. Hated that film.
I watched Warriors in the library at university. For some reason, my roommate was like, he's from Long Island. He's like, you've got to watch this movie. And we went, and like it was like a this is 1992, 93. So it was like a DVD, or it was like one of those, what are those big discs called that they used to have?
Laser disc.
It was like a laser disc. We plugged it in, and so we watch Warriors in the library, and this guy had like the most New York accent ever, and he just Warriors come out to play, yay! Like that's all he kept saying. He's like, you've never seen that
boring film.
I mean, all I remember was just the different gangs, like with the masks and the face paint and the guy with the fucking bottles. Funny though. Warriors. Sounded like it's almost like he was like an old Jewish lady. Warriors.
I watched 172 films since the 1st of January last year.
And I don't doubt that is. I mean, I use large numbers as just like an exaggeration, but I think you actually have probably a list.
Yes, got a spreadsheet for it. It's very good. I like it. I like it a lot. Escape from New York, rubbish. Oh no, it isn't. That's Snake Plissken there. That's pretty good. It's bad now, but it's good back then. How about The Wanderers and Lemon Popsicle? Jesus. My mate Julian, his dad used to get all these imports, and they're all shit. And there were some of them, and you couldn't make out what was going on.
Oh, Shawshank Redemption.
Good film.
That's what you want to
see in ages.
Yeah.
Yes, I watched The Grey Man last night. That was a pretty good film. Got a bit boring in the middle. I do not want that. The kid's backstory Just kill her. Shoot the child immediately, and then move on with the fucking film. There's no place for children in films. I'm not interested. I don't want love stories. I don't want love making. I don't even necessarily want women in there going, "Oh, protect me, save me." No, shoot her.
So Home Alone should be remade with just adults.
That's a kids' film. You're allowed to have it in kids' film.
Oh, so when you say movies, that kids shouldn't be in movies, you're only talking about movies that aren't like kids.
Yeah, when they're trying to go, we'll just chuck a few aspects in here that might appease a few audiences. Oh, there's a love scene that'll keep the ladies happy. Oh, there's a child being saved. That'll keep the children. No, fuck them. Get them out. I want guns. I want explosions.
How do you feel about penetration?
I'd rather not see it unless there's certain dedicated websites you can go to see that shit. And you don't need it in films. Jimmy the Greek says, have you seen the Outsiders? I've seen him in WCW, but other than that, no. I sold one trading card to a bloke in America. It was The Undertaker in his rookie year with Paul Bearer next to him. I had it up for 40 quid. He offered me 35 quid for one fucking card, and so I sold it. eBay charged him 19 fucking pounds delivery.
Oh my god!
I said I could have done that for you for 7. People don't use eBay's global shipping program because those cunts will fucking rob you blind.
Well, look, if you're paying that much for a Undertaker card, then what's another 20 pounds to get that valuable thing into your possession?
One fucking card.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally thinking of Matt Dillon and The Outsiders, and like, you know, how long it had been since I watched the movie, and my wife loves that movie, and you gotta go pulling Scott Hall and Kevin Nash out of your ass.
I thought that's what they were talking about. Before I disappear, never heard of him or her or that. It looks rubbish. It is. In New York, Richie, a downtrodden young man whose girlfriend recently disappeared, discovers the corpse of a girl who died from a heroin overdose. No,
really uplifting. So yeah. I have to go pick up a rental car to so that I can drive down to Sarasota tomorrow.
I told Chris what car you're getting. He said, "You're fucking joking." I said, "No."
What car did you say I'm getting?
White Mustang convertible.
No, that's coming. But the rental car for tomorrow, I do not think will be that. It'll probably be like a Kia like Sportage or something.
I had you down as a Cadillac Escalade, man.
No. But yeah, so I actually have to do that before they close. So we're gonna be having to sign off a little bit earlier than normal tonight.
That's okay.
Spent some time with my boy who is in town.
We had 45 people watching. I think that's a record for this.
Pretty consistently too. I mean, so everyone is coming. Jacob, Poorly Drawn Arsenal, came in from the start, hot off the presses, and I think he did then fall asleep, which is fine because as long as he fell asleep with the show still on, we get the credit.
A viewer is a viewer. You could put your budgie in front of it, and it counts.
He fell asleep, and his arm just like happened to come down onto the thumb, to the thumbs up.
Yep.
Then that's even better. So
we've got 26 thumbs up. I expect to get one. No, I expect to get 2 or 3 from some attention-seeking silly boy whose questions we did ask, but you can't put the same thing over and over and over and over in the chat because we're not 7-year-olds. We don't think that's funny. It's irritating.
Yeah, so, we don't have an issue with you personally. We want the chat to be interactive, not spammy. Spammy, yeah, exactly.
And we answered his questions. One of his personalities, we answered his questions. The other 2, not so much.
So what's next Sunday? Next Sunday is the 31st. I don't think I've got anything planned over the importance of the Sunday roast. So we'll be doing number 24 in a row. We're almost at we can have a half-year anniversary coming up in a few weeks.
Party, those things, and a hat. Oh, glorious!
It's gonna be amazing.
Can't wait.
So
I can't wait. I'm gonna wait.
I mean, there's nothing you can physically do to make it happen any sooner.
So I have to wait. You all have to wait.
with
So
that,
if people want to do a meet and greet with you, where can they find you next? The Hertz Rent-A-Car? Is that Mike's place? He might do you a good deal.
yeah, no, I'm getting an Owen Rent-A-Car today.
That'd be stolen.
It might be Hertz, actually. I have to.
How much are you paying for it?
I'm taking all sorts of pictures.
Yeah, because those fuckers, the wheels will come off and they'll go, it's your fault. They are fucked.
I'm not happy with how much rental cars cost right now. I'm not. It is the Hertz. It is Hertz, actually. So
tell him you know Mike. He probably owns it.
I'll be posting pictures. I'll have my arm strategically placed over the T, so it just looks like it says hers, and that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, happy birthday to Arnie! He was 50 on Friday.
How old is he now? I
50, I imagine.
I'll tell you in about 8 months. I'll tell you how 50-year-olds behave because. And
in 8 months, no, in what is it now? So in 3 months, I'll be 52. Good God, how to behave slowly. Right, come on, wrap this shit up. People have got stuff to do.
All right. Well, we love you, squatties, roasties. Not that we stole that from the hybrid.
No. We didn't.
But, in tribute to Chris and the amount of alcohol that both of us consumed this week, looks like your kitten is ready for me to sign off.
She's dying.
Well, let's not have that happen on the show. So we are out of here. Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast. We love our fans. Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast with Mike and Danny. This is sometimes Mike, and this is Dan, and we have fun. Here's Bernd, Leno, and here's sexy Mike riding a horse. Danny loves junk food, we know he does, and Mike does tricks. We love football, but hate talking about it, so we made this show. Why you watch it, we don't know. But it's fucking hard work. Get off me, you buzzy cunt. Fuck off. I hate them. Sunday Roast is a joint production of a Bergkamp Wonderland and the Gooners Podcast. Join us every Sunday night at 10 p.m. for all the entertainment you didn't know you wanted, but can't live without. Have a great week, everybody.